Hey gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey and I am sitting in the all-new 2023 Honda HR-V EX-L, and in this video I am going to give you a quick tour of what makes this subcompact all-wheel drive Honda crossover just so special. Stay tuned. Alright gearheads, we are at the 2022 Texas Auto Riders Texas Truck Rodeo, testing out multiple vehicles back to back, and I've grabbed this, the 2023 refreshed all new HR-V from Honda. And starting up here under the hood, this is actually the first time I'm opening it one-handed, is the 2-liter 4-cylinder making 158 horsepower, powering all 4 wheels using Honda's all-wheel drive and routing that power through a CVT, which is not my favorite, but look at the new updated styling. This is the new design language for Honda light trucks, and it works very well on this very small little crossover. I did mention this one does have all-wheel drive, so we will be testing it out off-road just a little bit, but I am absolutely digging this color. It's a little green, it's a little blue, it's a little gray, but that's about par for what I like on my personal vehicles. You have seen my Jeep Cherokee after all. But looking inside here, very comfortable interior. Again, stealing design language from some other Hondas. I'm going to get in and close the door because this interior looks very reminiscent of the new Honda Civic. There are obviously some differences, but the biggest similarity here is this honeycomb pattern that goes across the entire dash for hiding your air vents. And so you've got 2 here and 1 way over there, but this honeycomb pattern continues throughout. Climate controls are very easy. Qi wireless charging, USB-A, 2 cup holders up here, CVT, different drive modes, hill descent control, electronic parking brake, and an interesting little pass-through kind of storage area down here. That's very interesting. You get this bridge of controls. I like that. Very good size center console for this size vehicle. And then here is your glove box, also very nice as well. You can see the sticker price on this one is $30,590. MPG 25, 30, 27 on the highway. Not a bad little compact crossover. Moving to the back seat just to see how space is. Sitting behind myself at 5 foot. My goodness, I've got plenty of room, but this seat bottom does feel a little low. I definitely felt like I was sitting down into it. Back at the center console, you really don't get anything. No USB, just a little bit of storage, but that's okay in this price class. Then looking up, you get a standard size sunroof and very small lights here in the ceiling. Doesn't look like you get any sort of fold down center armrest either. And this is a 60-40 split bench rear seat that you can fold right here from the side, and does fold nice and flat. And we'll talk more about that as we come around back here to the back. No power operated hatch on this EX-L version, but you can see plenty of storage. Honda has found tons of space back here in the back of this very small crossover, and you get even more when you fold that 60-40 split bench down. But whoop, like I said, we are at an off-road event. Let's see how this thing performs off-road. This is basically a dirt road in Texas. It's gravel, it's dirt, throwing up a lot of dust back behind me, but still opportunity for wheel slippage, and especially if it's been raining or muddy, situations like this could be problematic if you have just a 2-wheel drive vehicle, especially with open diffs. But so far so good here in this little Honda HR-V all-wheel drive. I did have some friends with the previous generation of this, and I absolutely love how grown up this second gen feels. It just feels more mature in every sense of the design, aesthetic, The interior space, it feels very roomy. It feels very upscale, very nice. I'm very impressed with the next gen of the HR-V. Honda's been making some really good products. I'm liking all of their refreshed products. The interior of this is really good. Visibility out of this is very good. You are sitting fairly low. This is a lower vehicle than some crossovers, but it is really in the subcompact class and is just a smaller vehicle overall. We'll say we do have several drive modes here. We are in normal now. We've gone too far. But it also has Econ and Snow. So interesting, this really isn't made for anything crazy off-road, and that's okay because, again, probably not going to be doing a lot of crazy off-road stuff in this, but we will take it up a little bit of a hill climb and see just how it does when things get just a little more difficult than a dirt road. So here we go, headed up, no problem whatsoever. Look at that. And then we will take it out and around because unfortunately some of the obstacles here are just a little too tall for the low ground clearance on this, and that's okay. Again, this is not your serious off-roader. We are at an event with the Ram TRX after all, so there are definitely bigger vehicles out here that can do a whole lot more, but I am of the opinion that most vehicles are over-engineered for what most people will need them to do anyway. And here we go, we get a little sideways action. This really tests out the traction management of vehicles, making sure that they can get power down in multiple different situations. And so, very good situation to test this out right there, and handled it without any problem whatsoever. And then now we get a little bit of rough stuff up here, little less than ideal pavement, get ruts. Basically, imagine you're driving out in a field. That's what we're doing right now, and the all-wheel drive system is making sure that no matter what's going on, if there's a wheel in the air or if it just has minimal traction back there, the vehicle as a whole still has traction to move forward, and it is handling it very well. The suspension is also making the ride in here very nice. I've driven through here in some other things, and this is a very bumpy field that may or may not come across on camera as just how bumpy it really is, but this little Honda is smoothing it out very nicely. Very impressed with the ride of this one as we get out on some bumpier terrain. Now we get to test a little bit of speed out here and how this thing handles. This, again, is really more where most drivers are going to find themselves on a dirt road, maybe traveling at some speed, heading out to a campsite, heading out to family or friends if they live in rural conditions. And so far, so good on this. No worries of wheel slippage so far, handling all of these curves very nicely, handling the terrain very nicely. Again, very, very impressed with the suspension in this. It rides very smoothly, and it's very quiet in here. Again, typically in this subcompact class, you get a lot less noise cancellation, sound deadening material. You just feel like you get a lot more road noise, rattles, creaks, and stuff like that. Even on these rough surfaces, this little HR-V is buttoned down and doing very nicely in these less than ideal situations, and I'm impressed. It's a good little car. Now we'll do a little high-speed bowl action. Look at it go. Look at it go. It's so fun. Woo! Yeah, this is a good little car. For most people that are never gonna see off-road work, this is a perfectly acceptable car. It is a little on the small side, but I was impressed at just how much room I had back in the back seat sitting behind myself at 5'10". The small size of it does make it super maneuverable off-road, and you can really just point and shoot it wherever you want to go. There's a lot to like about this one, and at a 30 grand starting price, you get a good amount of features in this EX-L. I feel like this is a very comfortable interior and would make a very comfortable commuter or whatever else you might need of it. If you want to see more from us here at the Texas Auto Riders Texas Truck Rodeo, be sure and hit that subscribe button down below and ring the bell so you are notified every time a new video drops. If you want to see what we are driving before it is uploaded here, go find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, all at GT Garage Talk, or just head on over to gtgaragetalk.com. But as for me, in the 2023 Honda HR-V EX-L all-wheel drive, that's a mouthful right there, at the Texas Truck Rodeo, I'm going to sign off. Hopefully we can get this one for a little more testing back at home. Until next time, gearheads, bye.